Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video where today's video, guys, we haven't spoken about an upcoming rugby game for a while, and today we're talking about a brand new rugby game coming to the scenes soon, I guess. I imagine it could be late this year, maybe sometime next year. But if you guys remember Nacon, the guys who kind of own the rugby series, so like Rugby 15, Rugby 18, Rugby 20, Rugby 22, and obviously the latest game which we're currently playing on the channel. If you guys remember that Nacon also purchased Big Ant Studios, and I think they purchased Big Ant Studios, what was it, back in sometime last year, was it, for a big, huge amount of money? And Big Ant Studios, as hyped and as reported by myself and stuff, Big Ant Studios were in the works, were in development, you could say, about a brand new upcoming rugby game. Now, obviously, they've made Rugby League before, but they've never made a Rugby Union game. However, as of June 1st, so about 4 days ago, they replied to a tweet from a guy called Phil. So Phil said a Rugby Union video game would be nice. Big Ant Studios replied saying, "We currently got a huge Rugby Union game in development," which is awesome. It's very exciting because, Big Ant Studios developing their own rugby game. It's going to be interesting to see how Nacon plays us, right? So Nacon, obviously being like the publisher, they've already got, Big Ben Interactive, Eco Software, making Rugby 22. But if they got Big Ant Studios, another gaming developer, building their own rugby game, are Nacon going to basically just have two rugby games in parallel? Or is the game they're building, are we going to see at some point, both, I guess developers in a way merge together to build one ultimate rugby game? Because I'm very curious, right? But Big Ant Studios, have confirmed on Twitter, essentially replying to a tweet, that they are currently got a huge Rugby Union game in development. Now, if I remember correctly, the Rugby World Cup is in 2023, right? So if we type in Rugby World Cup, I'm just checking to see the date in 2023. So the World Cup is from the 8th of September of 2023 to October 28th of 2023. Now, if I had to guess, right, I imagine the game they're building is the World Cup. So if I'm Nacon, right, I'm the publisher, I imagine we've just, published Rugby 22, and Rugby 22 is essentially leagues, has some internationals, but essentially just a standard rugby game. They haven't really made a specific Rugby World Cup game in a while. If I remember the last one, I think it was Rugby 15, I think, was kind of the last World Cup game. So I imagine there could be a, potential, I think, that Big Ant Studios are working on a World Cup Pacific game. But I could be wrong. Obviously, right now it's just me speculating, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, Big Ant Studios have officially confirmed that they're currently working on a huge Rugby Union video game, and it's in development. So I'm interested. I mean, I think it's going to be a World Cup game, but I don't know. It would be a little bit interesting if Nacon have two rugby games, or they publish two rugby games in parallel to each other. I don't know. Or maybe what their plan is potentially is to see which one does better, and then whichever one does better is kind of like the parent in a way, and they'll just merge whichever team didn't do so well into that one. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm really, really intrigued to kind of see what happens. Because, for example, right, Call of Duty, right? So Activision, massive publisher, and Activision actually has multiple developers for rugby games. No, not for rugby games, Matt, I'm getting myself confused. So Activision, obviously a massive publisher, has multiple developers for Call of Duty. They got Infinity Ward, they got Treyarch, and they got Sledgehammer Games. And what they've done in the past, and kind of what they've been doing, is every year or so, and apart from next year, I think they're having a break, but pretty much the last 5-6 years or so, they've been having a different developer develop a game for that year. So it was almost in a 3-year cycle where you would have Infinity Ward develop a game for 3 years, and then Treyarch do a game for 3 years, and then Sledgehammer Games do a game for 3 years. So essentially a new game would come out every year, but there'll be a different developer essentially developing that game. Now, what's interesting is, could Nacon take the same approach? So because we obviously have a rugby game every 2 years, essentially, what if we were to have a new rugby game every year by Nacon, so by the publisher Nacon, but 1 year it could be Big Ant Studios, and 1 year it could be, Eco Software, Big Ben Interactive, etc. So I personally think that can happen. But that'd be interesting. Like, personally for me, I wouldn't mind a new rugby game every year. I wouldn't mind 1 year being by Big Ant Studios, 1 year being by, you know, the guys over at Big Ben and Nacon Software. I think that'd be awesome, personally, but we'll definitely see. Let me know your thoughts, guys, down below. I thought I'd do a quick little video talking about this, and yeah, expect more videos this week. And I haven't been posting too much as of lately. Like I said, life has been extremely busy, but no, I'm getting back on the grind and all that fun stuff. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, then be sure to massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment what's regarding this. But anyway, guys, I'm all for today, and I'll see you in my next video. Adios, chaps. Boom.
They've got space out wide. How about that, Ben? The move with such verve and determination.
That's right, Nick. They were so tenacious and they got their reward with that try. Yes, he's pushed that too far to the left.
And I'll go is not in her.